Hello and welcome. It's another episode of the program from the State Assemblies. On this episode, Abia Assembly kicks against relocation of State Polytechnic. Bill to domesticate Nigeria Consumer Protection Law passes second reading at the Ogun State House of Assembly. Plus, Bayelsa Assembly urges state government to partner the police and NDLEA towards curbing drug abuse. Details of these and many more stories coming your way shortly. I'm Joshua Ogojide. Thanks for joining us. We begin from Umaya, where the Abia State House of Assembly has kicked against the relocation of Abia State Polytechnic, ABA, to Osisioma, but called for the decongestion of the main campus. This is an effort to improve teaching and learning in a better environment. Chika Okori reports.
The entrance of the Speaker of the House, Emmanuel Emerowa, into the hallowed chamber signaled the commencement of the day's proceedings. The majority leader of the House, who also doubles as the Chairman House Committee on Education, Uchenna Okoro, presented an oversight function report on the need to relocate Abia State Polytechnic Aba to Osisoma. He further made some recommendations bordering on the need to construct speed breakers at the school gate, build hostels, among others, to reduce incessant road mishap.
That the House should, as a matter of necessity, mandate the Attorney General of the state to amend the edict establishing Abia State Polytechnic and forward it to the House for passage in order to make the Polytechnic perform optimally. That the main campus of the Polytechnic at Aba Owerri Road cannot be closed down and relocated to the satellite campus. Rather, some departments, faculties in the institution could be relocated to the satellite campus in order to decongest the main campus.
Those who say aye. Aye. Those against say nay.
Under a matter of urgent public importance, Chijioke Urukwa of Ubunabo State Constituency notified the House of the indiscriminate disposal of sewage in its area, which contributes to environmental pollution and climate change. The House Committee on Environment was drafted to visit Reked Sewage Disposal Company at Ubunabo and revert in 2 weeks.
The waste generated residents, villagers, and other neighboring communities unhabitable, contributing to pollution, climate change, breeding of mosquitoes, resulting to high incidence of malaria.
House Committee on Environment should, as a matter of urgency, visit the site and revert back to us within the shortest possible time so that we can liaise with the executive.
However, the Deputy Speaker, Augustine Okezie, appreciated Governor Alex Oti for creating some relevant institutions, especially State Security Advisory Council and Security Trust Fund, to help improve the protection of lives and property of the citizenry.
And it is also my hope that these two bodies he has created will add value in our pursuit towards having a criminal-free environment in Abia.
The House adjourned to a later date.
Away from the southeast to the northwest, Zamfara to be precise, where the State House of Assembly has approved extension of tenure for the 14 local government councils' sole administrators and the state by 6 months. This followed the recommendation of a special committee of the House led by the Deputy Speaker Adamu Aliyu Gumi. Bello Sani completes the report.
Following the expiration of 6-month tenure of the 14 local governmental administrators in Zamfara, the State House of Assembly has approved the extension of their stay in office by 6 months. This followed a request to that effect sent to the House by Governor Dauda Lawal in line with prohibition of the law. Earlier presenting the special committees of the House report on the performances of the councils, the Deputy Speaker Adamu Aliyu Gumi says all the 14 local governmental administrators in the state have performed very well during their previous tenure, hence the need for the House to look for the possible extension of their tenure for another 6-month period. After an extensive deliberation by some members at the plenary, the Speaker Bilyamin Ismail Moriki announced the unanimous decision of the House to approve the extension of tenure for all the 14 local governmental administrators by 6 months.
The recommendation number 1 to 3 on the report of screening of interim administrators of 40 local government of Zamfara State are hereby adopted to enable these personalities serve for an extension of 6 months as interim administrators effective from today, Monday, 6 May 2024 to the 6th day of November 2024.
Speaker Bilyamin Ismail Moriki has charged all the 14 local government council interim administrators to justify the competence reposed in them by ensuring good and quality leadership in their respective areas.
As the rainy season sets in gradually, the Kano State House of Assembly has prioritized resolutions on the construction and reconstruction of roads in different parts of the state to ease mobility for the populace. Samira Amisu Shira reports that the 2 motions were adopted on the provision of critical road infrastructure alongside electrification in some communities. A report.
Usman Tasiu Abubakar from Iru and Yusuf Bella Aliyu of Nasarawa had their motions on Tuesday's other paper, which eventually was adopted by the parliament. They are seeking for the construction of a road from Hotore Filin Station to Filin Lazio, while in Kiru, from Unguwar Dutse to Kerana Marakuwar. Meanwhile, Aminu Saadu of Ngogu and his counterpart from Dugua had their motions on the provision of electricity in some parts of their constituencies. It is a community that had no electricity for over 4 decades. Saleh Ahmed Marke is calling on the state government to install water pipeline from Dungurawa to the Dawakin Tufa headquarters, which were all unanimously adopted.
Moving to the southwest geopolitical zone of the country, a bill to domesticate the Nigerian Consumer Protection Law has passed second reading at the Ogun State House of Assembly, with members embracing the components of the bill for adequate protection of consumers against harmful and sharp practices from service providers. Yemi Dalimo is standing by for details of these and hot proceedings of the lawmakers.
Leading the debate on the bill entitled Ogun State Consumer Protection Agency Bill, the sponsor, Lukman Adeleye, and other lawmakers note that the law, when operational, will ensure the protection of the rights of consumers and allow them the opportunity to seek redress whenever there is breach of contract.
This bill, if domesticated, and the agency that we intend to create, if we are able to do this, the bill will give consumers the right to be heard and assure that the interests of consumers will receive due consideration at every forum.
Mr. Speaker, this bill will definitely protect the vices of social contract being entered into by mostly our social services provider.
Yeah, consumer protection is an essential element of an healthy economy.
We have so much disassociated the law from the consumers. And Mr. Speaker, it is high time that this honorable house for posterity stand in unison to back the passage of this wonderful and lovely bill.
The Speaker, Oludaisi Elemide, who also agreed with the components of the bill, particularly the establishment of a government agency to be saddled with the responsibility, later committed further legislative action on the bill to the Committee on Industry, Trade and Investment. The lawmaker representing Ipokia Idiroko State Constituency, Adebisi Oyedele, thereafter moved a motion on the urgent need to curb the growing cases of cult-related killings in Abeokuta, which was supported by the majority of the lawmakers at plenary. The House later adopted a resolution on the urgent need to clamp down on the alarming trend of cult-related killings in the state and the need for the state governor to appoint commissioner for youth in the state.
It is the opinion of this honorable house that the state government will take decisive action to appoint a state commissioner for youth in the state, step up security measures and Youth Engagement Initiative gears towards coping incessant cause-related violence across the state.
Those who are against saying nay, the ayes have it and so on that.
The House, while performing its oversight functions, engaged some local government staff on the appraisal of their performances from January 2023 to March 2024 to examine the project and how funds accrued to the council were judiciously utilized. Meanwhile, the House Committee on Works and Infrastructure, during an assessment visit to the State Agro-Cargo International Airport in Iperu, lauded the State Governor Dapo Abiodun's ingenuity in initiating the project, which they added will further improve the state's socio-economic development.
Legislative is just to check balance. As stated in our Nigerian Constitution, Section 120 to 129, that this is a consolidated revenue. It cannot be used without the approval of the House. And what you approve, you have to check. And I've seen everything, and it is a good job.
The Speaker of the House later hosted the leadership of the Federal Road Safety Corps Ogun State Sector Command, led by the Sector Commander Anthony Uga, who came to synergize with the lawmakers on advancing the cause of safety while driving.
We now move to the North Central, where the Kogi State Assembly has received two bills, one seeking to establish the state multi-door courthouse, while the other proposes strategies for the prevention of HIV and AIDS within the region. Jacob Sani reports that one of the bills takes precedence during legislative debate on the floor of the Assembly.
The plenary session stemmed from an earlier event.
2024 be adopted, say aye.
The reading of a bill targeted at combating HIV/AIDS discrimination while safeguarding the rights and dignity of those affected by the diseases. The proposed legislation seeks to not only prevent the acquisition of HIV/AIDS, but also curb their transmission among individuals already affected.
Permit me therefore to crave your indulgence, the Right Honourable Speaker and my distinguished honourable colleagues, in seeking your support for the bill to receive the desired consideration and accelerated passage, believing that our constituents living with and affected by HIV and AIDS will be protected.
The comprehensive 21-page private bill, comprising 42 sections, endeavors to streamline legal procedures, thus reducing citizen frustrations and expediting justice delivery by establishing a standardized framework for resolving disputes fairly and efficiently. As a co-sponsor of the bill, Speaker of the House Umar Yusuf Aliu underlined the importance of establishing a multi-door courthouse system within the state, advocating for alternative dispute resolution methods.
I wish to call on my respected colleagues to support the free flow of legislative procedure for the passage of this historic bill. My distinguished colleagues, it will also interest you to know that this same bill, as part of alternative way in resolving conflict, has places like Lagos and other important states in this country practicing it, and it's really working.
Lawmakers, in their individual remarks, emphasized the timeliness and necessity of these bills in addressing pressing societal concerns.
Our correspondent in Lokoja, Jacob Sani, will be speaking with one of the sponsors of the two bills, being Baya Tijani, is a member representing Lokoja 1 state constituency. Over now to you, Jacob.
To enhance his or her operation, if he knows that such funds exist. Maybe you are not creating awareness much that fund exists. And before, lots and lots of people think that BOI is exclusively for a few. And that is why they are not finding it convenient to reach out to access such funds. And if that be the case, you will have to do more in sensitizing the mining society so that they can have access to such funds. Because no matter how rich you are, I've not seen any place that the ocean has refused a drop of the rainfall. So if you create awareness for the miners, I'm sure this 3.5 billion would be gone in one day.
Yes,
so please do something that we will have to engage ourselves so that we can know that the funds exist. I know that has been existing since in the 90s, but would you refuse an extra fund?
I think what we do, Edie, we appreciate your...
Yes, sir. Can I respond to the distinguished senator?
You add this and wrap it up on your
Sir?
end. What clearly emerges is that a lot of the industry players need access to funding. And just as my colleague has said, maybe you need to widen you need to get them properly informed to know that such intervention is in place so that they can take advantage of your facilities. But I also want to find out what is the spread of your funding? I mean, how, as much as possible to Nigerians, are the funding spread out amongst an array of Nigerians, well spread out throughout the country?
Yes.
Because there's mining in virtually every part of this country. I want to know that someone from there's a place called Utaiwa. I'm not sure that you've heard about that name. Utaiwa. Utaiwa is near the Atlantic. It's close to my hometown. It's in Akwa Ibom South. The average, the average miner, even a prospective one, should know that such a funding exists. But that's true, well spread through an array of Nigerians. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think the three questions can actually come as one. We have realized as an institution that you can only serve the MSMEs in particular if you are close to them. And what we've done is we've taken an oath that every state of the Federation will have at least one office. We have recently opened an office in Akwa Ibom. We've recently opened a new office in Nasarawa. And as at yesterday, our Jigawa State office is also ready. Yes, sir. So we have only 5 states that we are not yet there: Imo, Zamfara, Kogi, Yobe, and Bayelsa. And we are talking with the owners of the states. In this case, we are talking with the business communities to make sure that between now and the first quarter of next year, every state must have a BOI office. That is the only way to serve the people when you are close to them. And therefore, these activities...
You're watching the program from the State Assemblies, where we keep you abreast of legislative activities from the state parliament. We now go on a short break. The program continues shortly with a report from the South-South geopolitical zone of the country.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs some love. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way. It concerns you. It a kill law, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Moving to Calabar, the Cross River State House of Assembly has passed into law the State Fire Service Bill 2024. Udak Etebe reports that this is in order to reposition the fire and rescue service for desired productivity to meet international standard.
It would be recalled that the Cross River State Fire Service Bill 2024 was first proposed in the House on the 20th July 2023 as sponsored by member representing Biase State Constituency, Oban Francis, and has passed first and second reading, after which the bill was committed to the House Committee on Environmental Matters for consideration. Chairman of the committee and member representing Yalatu State Constituency, Martins Achadu, presented a report of the findings to the House while seeking amendment of the law, which he said was long overdue. He highlighted challenges militating against smooth operations of the fire service in the state, which include lack of basic requirements for firefighting and prevention, as well as inadequate staff strength, among others.
We went through the rigors of holding public hearing and seeing how laws since 1988 were still being run by Cross River State Fire Service. That was one of the reasons the House saw laws that could no longer pass, and so the fire service could not perform optimally. So there was now a need to update the laws to current realities. And of course, the House deliberated again, even after my report, to further amend some schedules.
When we came in, there were a lot of fire incidents that ravaged the state. A lot of people's businesses went down, buildings, and so many other things. Now, we saw the need to go back and review or to look into the fire service laws. And we found out that those laws were obsolete laws. We equally considered that if those fees continues, then definitely the fire service will not perform very well.
Speaker, Cross River State House of Assembly, Elvet Ayambem, commended the committee for the comprehensive report presented and reiterated the 10th Assembly's commitment to people-friendly legislations.
There is this law we passed, and it's called Fire Service 2024 law. And when we were to pass, there was this section of the law that was talking about landlords, house owners, and high-rise, sum of 500,000 annually. Now, when we looked at it critically, I realized that the backlash is going to be on the occupants of such houses. So I looked at it critically. Members made their observation, and I asked the leader to come by way of motion expunging that particular part, that should be completely taken away, repealed from that law. And I think at the end of the day, we did so, and that was the end of it for that law.
Specific areas amended on the bill include redesignation or upgrading of position of the director and head of the fire service from director grade level 16 to state controller of fire service grade level 17, as well as formulation of regulations, additional powers of members, offences and penalties.
Meanwhile, in Yonogwa, the Bayelsa State House of Assembly has urged the state government to partner the Nigerian Police Force, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria towards curbing the incidence of drug abuse in the state. Baratu Akpiri Awi as details.
The motion for discussion on the floor of the Allo Chamber was sponsored by the lawmaker representing Nembe Constituency 3, Samson Awudulu, on the need to curb the high rate of drug abuse among youth and students in Bayelsa State. The issue raised in the motion gave the legislators the consent to debate in favor of the motion.
The House therefore resolved to, number one, urge the Bayelsa State government to partner with the Nigerian Police Force, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, National Agency of Food and Drug Acquisition and Control, and the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria towards curbing the incidence of drug abuse in the state. Number two, direct the Ministry of Education to direct all heads of secondary school and tertiary educational institutions in Bayelsa State to create NDLEA outposts in their campuses, where NDLEA operative will be deployed to assist the authorities to scare off drug dealers and
abusers within the institution. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Self-medication. People have come to me and complained that there's a lot of fake drugs in the system. And one of the causes of this fake drug is drug abuse. Drug abuse is illegitimate use of drug. That's the main definition. If they say take antibiotics for 3 days and you take for 1 day, it's drug abuse.
The lawmaker representing Brass Constituency 1, Charles Daniel, also brought a motion to the House about multiple taxation by tax operators in the state. After painstakingly looking at the adverse effect of multiple taxation in the state, the legislators debated in support of the motion.
Holistically, review existing tax policies and procedures to streamline the tax system, reducing opportunities for unauthorized taxation and promoting transparency. Prayer 2. Order the Bayelsa State Board of Internal Revenue to furnish this house with a list of legal and registered tax collectors and agents in the state.
Where an act of the National Assembly provides for the collection of tax or duty on capital gains, incomes or profits, or the administration of any law by an authority of the state in accordance with paragraph 7, which is making reference to the earlier one, paragraph 7 hereof, it shall regulate the liability of persons to such tax or duty in such manner as to ensure that such tax or duty is not levied on the same person.
Speaker of the House, Abraham Ngobere, after the debate on both motions, in agreement with the members, approved the two motions as working documents of the House.
In another development, the Delta State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointment of Olorogun Lucky Omoru and Anthony Elekio Kori as Chairman and Director General of the Delta State Investment and Development Agency. State Assembly correspondent Godfrey Onzekwewe reports that some bills also passed through first reading.
The confirmation of Olorogun Lucky Omoru and Anthony Elokokuri as Chairman and Director General of the Delta State Investment and Development Agency, respectively, came after their introduction and presentation by members representing their constituencies.
Mr. Chairman, all those who know the nominee, like the majority leader, can attest to the fact that whenever he's giving any assignment, he doesn't leave any stone unturned. So I am confident that you bring the same level of expertise and diligence on this role if compared by this honorable house.
A very, very strong non-sitting, ranking non-sitting member of this election. You can sit to watch the rest of the plenary, the non-sitting member. Think about it.
Also confirmed are Rosnu Amoku, Chairman, Civil Service Commission, Madwe Mezia Ikechukwu, Member, Civil Service Commission, and Ikenna Okpaka as Auditor General, Local Government. Ikenna narrowly survived the confirmation due to some avoidable errors in his CV. He was, however, asked to regularize within 24 hours.
You refer to a non-sitting member, a former member of Delta State House of Assembly as a member still serving, where you refer to the former Auditor General as still serving, the same office you want to occupy, of the motion by the majority leader and seconded by the deputy majority leader, that this honorable house do now confirm Mr. Obaka Ekena as Auditor General Local Government. Say aye. Those against the ayes have it.
Some bills, like Bill for a Law to amend the Delta State Administration of Civil Justice Law 2022, a Bill for a Law to amend the Administration of Criminal Justice Law 2022, a Bill for a Law to amend the Regulation of Private Veterinary Clinics Law 2026, a Bill for a Law to establish the Delta State Film and Video Censors Board Law 2024 and other related purposes, amongst others, scaled through the first reading after presentation by the Majority Leader, Emeka Nwobi.
That concludes this week's episode of the program, but remember, you can still watch our news and other programs on the social media handles scrolling on your screen. Thanks for staying tuned. Once again, I'm Joshua Ogude. Bye for now.